Some people may not know that God is trustworthy, and God is faithful to his promises. He's faithful to his word, you know. But we get distracted by the things we see, you know, or if it doesn't line up with our logic, we have a tendency of shrinking back or doubting the Lord. Because I know I've, you know, been through quite a few of those types of experiences, and sometimes I still wrestle with it. And the enemy himself will come to make you doubt, especially looking at your natural circumstances or a situation. You know, you would tend to think like, Lord, how can this be? Like Mary, how can it be when I know not a man, you know? It's like, Lord, how can this be, you know, when, you know, my bank account say this, but you telling me I'm going what? You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, well, to God be the glory. And he would show himself that you know that you know that you know it was the Lord himself that did that thing. And he would set it up.
That's true.
That man could not be able to get the glory, like we talked about on our way here, you know, that the Lord would set things up to make sure. Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
And my life has been a setup just for me to get closer to him. You know, like I said, I knew him at a young age, but just knowing him is just not enough. He wants you to come closer to him, and he's truth, and he wants you to know through anything that happens to you in life that you still know he's God and he's truth and he's there. He can take care of things. You know, don't try to do it on your own.
And die daily to yourself.
Yes, you
have let him live through you. That's when
to.
you see the real miracles, I think, and stuff. But it's hard to do. That old flesh is like, but you know, was greater is he that's in us.
That is it.
And like the Bible also tells us that our flesh and our spirit is always warring one with the other. You know, but
like oil and water.
I know from my own personal experience, a lot of times I have to fast to shut my flesh up. You know, and then my flesh be like, oh, Kim, you know, we're not fasting because it is not that important. And it's like, oh, I have to tell my flesh, no, you're not getting that tuna fish. You know, I don't care how much you think that, you know, that it's healthy for you, whatever, or you're not getting that steak. You know, because what I desire from the Lord is more important than a steak or egg or tuna fish. And it's like, Lord, and I, you know, it's been times that my head were hurt from during that time. But to God be the glory. He always show himself to be faithful when you come off that fast. God will manifest his power and glory on your behalf. When you seek him, sometimes we pray and we don't see, you know, what we desire. But then when you go to fast, you know, he begins to bring clarity to that thing that you've been praying about.
Oh, yes, he will.
You know, so
this kind comes out only by fasting and prayer.
That's
you
what
know
I was thinking of. When she was speaking.
Yes,
you have to give him time. You know, and another thing, you have to be patient. Because we're people that wants things. We're microwavable.
Yesterday,
you know, we want it just like sticking it in the microwave and pulling it out. But you learn and you grow. Some things you want right now, he's not giving it to you because he wants you to be ready for it when it comes.
Yeah, we do have to mature in those things. You know, so we do. We have to mature in some things.
How long have you been with the Lord, born again, since you got, you know?
Well, like I said, I came at an early age, and I've been
like a little
close
girl,
walking with him in the last 25 years.
Wow.
I've been ministering the last 21 years. So
that's great.
And some of the other areas you mentioned, the Lord uses you also in the area of deliverance. Deliverance ministry, laying on of hands, and
he's had me lay hands upon people when they come back and say that their lives were changed. You know, and you know, I said, Lord, you know, I've done many things, I've been many places, but I never knew you would use me. But he says he'll use anybody that would just say, here I am, and empty yourself out and come to him and be serious about what, you know, just sell yourself out.
Right.
You know, and just be faithful to him. You know, he's there's many things out there need to be done.
There's no joy like the Lord doing something in your life.
Yes.
It brings you so much joy.
Wow. And share with us also, there's another area of ministry the Lord is using with the women of the exercise.
Oh, yeah.
And how, you know, when they come in there to get worked out, they
right.
get worked on.
And he's still working on me. Yes. There's more to serving the Lord. Like, you have to sell yourself out. And that means we have to be clean before he can use us. We have to get our stuff out of us. So that's from the top of your head to the sole of your feet. You know, he wants us to be healthy. How can you do his work if you're unhealthy? How can you do your work, his work if you're not clean? We can go out there and do many things, but it's not the power and the anointing in God, you know, inside of us. And that's what he wants us to not go out there and say we're just doing his work. He wants to see the power and authority. He wants to see the people changed. So I work with Curves. Curves is a exercise business.
Well known.
And, you know, it's a spiritual company. They believe in the Lord. And we have all, we have all type of people coming in, some that atheists. But we're freely able to talk about the Lord. If somebody come to us, and we can even say it without somebody coming to us, you know, to show them maybe they need him to get the strength to do the exercises. Some come in that has had strokes and back surgery, and they feel they're not going to get back on their feet. So we do talk about them, how to diet, how to serve the Lord, to get the strength, how to go to him and ask him the questions that they need to know.
You know, like in the Bible where it says that my people perish for a lack of knowledge. And I think that a lot of the stuff that we eat now is more motivated by money than it is our health.
Yes.
You know, and I think God's trying to get that through to a lot of people, and they're eating healthier and trying to get away from all the man-made and chemicals and all that stuff.
We have to take the time and not be so on the run that you can't take care of your own body. You know, if your mind is not in the right place, then you may stray into many areas.
Man, because you know what? Think about this. When you said earlier, when you mentioned that some of the people over in Nigeria and Africa walk for hundreds of miles to hear the word of the Lord. Can you imagine some of the people, us here in America?
No.
You know what I'm saying? That we say, okay, we about to walk 100 miles to go hear the word of the Lord.
We might miss that meeting.
I know personally, I'll be dropping off on, you know, like a mile or two. You know what I'm saying? Looking for a McDonald's or a Burger King or something.
But you know, sometimes we have to stay up and stay up and study the word at night. And sometimes we fall asleep on the word. Sometimes we get calls, and you know, when we trying to take care of our business and we don't have the energy to go out and help somebody else to stretch ourselves. So we have to be ready. We have to be strong.
Yes,
we have to be strong in the Lord. He wants us to get his word inside and let him clean us up.
Right.
If we listen to him, where our strength come from, it come from the Lord.
That's right. God is so good. Yes, he is. That's true.
Wow. Is there anything you like to?
Well, when I was my kids were little, there was this record. I don't know, it was from the radio, and it had this little story on there about a lady. She was in Jerusalem, I guess, and she said, "I got to clean up, and because the Lord's coming to our house." You ever heard that?
A song?
No, it's a story. And so the little kids are asking her to do this, and one hurt itself, and she couldn't put a Band-Aid on it. She says, "No, I got a mop. Don't come on the floor." And she's got to clean, and she's doing all this stuff.
Yes.
But then there was somebody that came to the door, and somebody else, and I forget, but it was so good. I mean, it really touched me, because she was so busy cleaning that she missed the people coming to her door or having a need. She didn't have a wide eye. Like the Bible says, have a wide eye, not like you got blinders on.
Yes,
if somebody's over there, maybe they ain't the most beautiful person, but they have a need, then you should help them. God's testing us all the time, I think. And so that little thing really stuck with my kids. And
really?
and that's what got them all to really love the Lord, is those little, it was off the radio or something, and you send in and get this little record. And I don't know whatever happened to it. We played it to death, though. I tell you, that was really, really good.
It today?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so good. You know, it was like a play on record, and it was really good.
Lord, that kind of reminds me of you know, sometimes we're so busy we miss the Lord. You know, we're so busy trying to get him, we miss him. And it brings back a story. Well, not a story, but something that happened to me. I was out shopping one day, and I was trying to get back to my choirs. I was like 16 miles away from my home, and I was supposed to be at a church to practice our choir because I was over the choir. And it started raining. I happened to come around the corner going to the store, and there was an elderly lady standing there with these bags. And I'm saying, who would leave her there? It looked like her family would be there to help her, you know. So I was just really in my hurry, in my thing, trying to get in the store and get what I wanted. But that ate me up in my spirit all the way in that store. When I came back out, it was raining harder. The little lady was standing there. And I'm saying, oh, I'm over the choir. I need to be on time. And I'm getting in my car, and the Lord was dealing with me. So I got in the car, and I rode right back around where the lady was standing, and I asked her, I said, are you waiting on somebody? Can I help you? And the Lord was telling me, see, this is what you need to be doing. You don't have to be in the house and think you're doing what in the house of the Lord, he's telling me. Thinking you're doing everything I want you to do. There's work to be done out here.
Yes,
you see that this lady is in need. So I took her, you know, she did live on the way back where I was going.
Right.
But it took time out of my schedule to do that. So we do that a lot.
You went the second mile
Yes,
for her, you know,
yes,
really. You know,
yes.
it's like sometimes I think the church is like a lot of firemen sitting around putting out each other's cigarette out. You know what I mean? It's like they ain't got a clue what God really needs them to be doing, you know. Instead of feeding theirself, we're supposed to be feeding his children the word, you know, and they got a lot of potlucks going on out there.
Wow. So if you could, Mary, look into the camera and give a word of encouragement, pray for those who have struggled with the areas that God has graced you to come through, you know, and if there's somewhere that if a person want to contact you, if you're open for speaking engagements at churches or conferences or, you know, or minister how to be healthy and things like that, if you have a contact email or number.
Yes. I like to say be encouraged. No matter what you're going through. You know, we're living in hard times now, but nothing's too hard for God. God's hands are big. He can help you through things. Just trusting. You know, I even pray for the sick, the people that's having cancer. It's so much we hear that. The people that don't even have a roof over their heads now because they've lost their homes, especially here in Detroit. I want you to be encouraged in the Lord. The Lord has brought us through many things. And by me being living here in Michigan for 33 years, I'm moved away to Marion, Illinois. The last 10 years I've lived there. But I've been through some things even in the city and seen the city come back. I know the Lord is saying, come back to me. I know the Lord is saying, trust me through the sicknesses. I know that Satan is very much on young married people in their lives today. And not just young. He don't want family to be together. So I just asked you to trust and come closer to the Lord. And let him work things out for you. He can do anything. He can do anything. He's a great physician. He's a great God. He's an awesome God.
Oh, yes.
Just trust him and come closer to him.
Thank you, Lord.
If there's anything, I may be able to come back and speak to someone. You can contact Kim and Laura here at the radio station. You can call me in Marion, Illinois at 618-751-6836. And that's Evangelist Mary Chevalier. I just love being here and love the camaraderie with my spiritual sisters. And I just love the Lord, and I pray that you come closer to him. God has the answer.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That's really good.
Yes. Thank you so much, Evangelist Mary, for coming on and sharing your testimony. It's truly an honor and a privilege to have you share what you have shared with us today. And I'm quite sure you have ministered to a lot of people's heart. And I pray God's traveling mercy as you go back to your own hometown.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
And it's been a privilege in the Lord, because I'm never lost. When the Lord is doing his work, I'm in the midst of those that love the Lord. And thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in, and God bless you.
Spirit of the Son.